Hi there, Aries. Hi, Aries. Welcome to Carol's Universe Tarot Readings from the Heart. You're up first because it's your birthday. It's your birthday. How are you? Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, back on doing readings this week. Sorry for those of you guys who didn't see me last week, who watched the channel. I was really busy with personal clients and stuff. And, you know, whenever the weeks get really busy with personal clients and I try and do YouTube, it just doesn't work out for me because I'm trying to just cram too much in. So if I'm like overly, and when I say really busy, you know, it's not about having like clients week in, week out. It's about having, you know, year aheads, because people are you know, order readings like the live spread and that type of thing, which can take a long time to write up and record and that type of thing. It's very, very exhausting to do those types of readings. So it's best sometimes that I don't come on if I'm really busy with, you know, things like live spreads for clients and stuff, because I prefer just to put my energies in one area rather than to try and spread it too thin. So finally, because I've finally got through the smaller readings, it's fine to do the smaller readings and then do YouTube at the same time. But if I've got some big projects on, it's a no-go for me because it's just too much. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at I'm going to do from the 15th to the 30th of April. I thought that would be a nice time span to look at, from now until the end of the month, basically. And we're going to use for this, it's a deck that I don't think I've really used this for YouTube at all. It's the Modern Witch by Lisa Sterl. It's a really lovely deck. Oh my God. And I got this for something like $13.99 down from $21.99 on Amazon. And the cardstock is beautiful, absolutely stunning cardstock. I'm probably going to start doing some deck reviews, so just really, you know, decks that I think people should be buying. It does have the only thing with this deck is it pretty much kind of leans towards kind of being more, it's kind of like a bit gender biased, I think, because it's all females. Yeah, it's pretty much all females, which is fine. I think it works for guys when you read it. For guys, when you know, I don't use this deck that often. I always use it for my female clients, though. This particular deck, for some reason, this is like one of my go-to decks for female clients. But it's really is a stunning deck. So we're going to use that today for the reading. And for your spiritual advice, we're going to use the Psychic Tarot Off the Heart Oracle deck by John Holland. Probably my favourite Oracle deck that I have. It's just a really, really good deck. So we're going to unbox this. Let's open it up. Let's get it out. It comes with a cute little book. It's just, I mean, look at that stock. I mean, it's off the chain. It's so good. Illustrations are good, coloration good, fantastic. Let's have a look at your reading then. So what we're going to do, we're going to do one card at the top, guys, that looks at what is the energy that is being focused on over the next 2 weeks. We look at 10 cards in the center to have a look at what the energies are around that, and then we look at the card at the bottom here. So it's a 12 card spread to look at how the situation can be resolved, okay, or you know, where things are leading to. So bear with me while I shuffle, guys. Okay then, Aries, so I had to fiddle around with the camera quite a bit just to get everything on. Okay, so where is the focus for the next 2 weeks? Right, we've got the Two of Pentacles showing up. I mean, yeah, I mean, the Two of Coins could be about money management, money, because when you get the Two of Pentacles in a financial reading, the Two of Coins is all about trying to balance and adapt. It's a card that represents, you know, it can represent change, positive change as well with the Two of Pentacles, dependent on what school of tarot you kind of lean more towards. But also it's a card about adaptability and needing to manage things in an efficient way. So it's a card about balancing things out. With a money reading, you know, often the Two of Coins will be about having to be, you know, quite adaptable with your cash, because this card can actually say, you know, we're struggling maybe a bit financially, so we've got to be really kind of intelligent and careful with our money. We need to know how to manage it, what bills need to be paid. Sometimes this is the card about, you know, it's a card about being very resourceful and, you know, not spending money erroneously. If you don't need to spend it on a particular thing, don't spend it on the more important things that are needed, like food, lighting, gas, that type of thing, you know, instead of, you know, a pair of Louboutins or something like that. So the Two of Coins for me as a card is always about trying to, you know, it's trying to manage or create things, you know, create balance. The other thing with the Two of Coins, though, can mean that you're doubling up on things. So when you get a Two of Coins, it can literally mean, say you got a Two of Coins and the Seven of Swords, somebody would be making double the effort. Because Seven of Swords can also mean a card about effort, yeah? So this can also be about doubling up on things, you know, doing things, making the effort or doing things to a stronger capacity, if that makes any sense, with this Two of Pentacles energy. She looks like she's doing exercise as well. So this is really, for me, kind of stretching oneself as well. Stretching one's capacity, whether it's for learning, whether it's for exercise, that type of thing with the Two of Coins. The Two of Coins also is a card about having to, you know, do a balancing act. So this card is the card of having to balance work with family life, having to, you know, having to try and, you know, keep all those balls in the air. So just keep everything going and having to do it quite successfully. It's really just a balancing act, which is what the Two of Coins is, which is why when you sometimes get this card, it can show that somebody's really, really busy. Underneath this, all right, so the situation underneath, so this is the focus, the Two of Pentacles for the next 2 weeks. And underneath this, we have the Lovers, all right? So the Lovers, it depends on how you want to read the Lovers. It could be about a relationship here, so it may be something to do with having to balance the responsibilities that you have in terms of, you know, it's all about a relationship with the Lovers. It's all about kind of, how do I, you know, create balance? How do I do, you know, the things that I'm responsible for doing, like work and like food shopping and that type of thing. I know that we're all on lockdown at the moment, but it doesn't stop having those responsibilities, which is what the Two of Coins with, along with spending time with the partner, the Lovers. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely for some of you guys. It's about your marriage. It's about, because the Lovers and the Hierophant can often be a card about two people who are in a very committed relationship. And those cards together are actually cards that would indicate probably a marriage, for example, or a very strong commitment. So the focus for the next kind of couple of weeks is all about how you balance the things that you have to do along with the things that you want to do, and that's kind of connected to your relationships. The Lovers and the Hierophant energy showing there. Yeah, I mean, you've got a King of Wands energy here as well. So, and also the King of Wands, I'm not going to read this as the person. For some of you guys, it could be the person. They could be a Leo or Sagittarius, or even an Aries like you. I mean, you know, he or she can be read as an Aries. I'm not going to read them as a male or female, because you don't have to do that with Kings and Queens, contrary to popular belief. But say this is you sitting here. Your focus really needs to be on this. All right. So the focus is about balance. And it may be that one thing is out of sync with the other, to be perfectly honest with you. And some of you guys, because when you do tarot, you also look at where the cards are facing. Well, I can see that the King of Wands is, which is you, because this can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is definitely you, I believe, in the card. All right, so this is, and you show as being a king. So this is about you guys taking charge. So the next couple of weeks is all about taking charge and really kind of focusing and honing in, I think, Aries, on those really important relationships that you have. The Lovers and the Hierophant. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. For a lot of you guys, it will be. It will be your marriage, for example, if you're married, or it'll be your long-term boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever. But it is a time over the next couple of weeks for really honing in on those energies showing there, okay? You need to focus less, because the back is turned to the Nine of Cups. So you need to kind of focus less on the things that kind of, you know, bring you purely your own kind of personal pleasure, because the Nine of Cups is about personal pleasure. When you get the Nine of Cups, it's not just a card about wish fulfillment and hopes and dreams and all that type of thing. The Nine of Cups is also one of those cards, Aries, that really does focus in on kind of things like drink, you know, playing games, for example. So, for example, especially if you like to sit down, you know, off an evening and, you know, you finished your work, if you're working from home or whatever, and you go on your game, for example. Some people are addicted to things like games and that type of thing, and they're like, you know, the partner walks in, what would you like for dinner, honey, or whatever, and they're like, yeah, whatever, and they get back to the game and they're completely in the zone with that. And I do feel that looking at this spread so far, just looking at the directions, because we're working also within this particular spread directionally, where I'm looking at kind of, you know, what's going on. You know, what is going on, because this looks like it's a funny thing, because I could read this two ways, really. Number one, I can see the King of Wands looking directly toward the Lovers and the Hierophant. So for me, there needs to be a focus on, you know, the relationships, you know, that you're most closest to at the moment. Literally the ones that are in your vicinity. And even if it's a case of that your partner isn't living in the home with you at the moment and they're far away, you need to make sure that you're focusing, I think, that the reading is saying over the next couple of weeks, on focusing on getting more kind of connected with people that are really, really important to you. People who have been loyal to you, people who you've been loyal to over the years. Just people that you've had a really, really close relationship with, whether it's your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, your wife, or, you know, a really close family member. This card here is the card of kind of pleasure, and this is personal pleasure. This is somebody who likes to do things their way. They get personal pleasure and enjoyment from, you know, going on to particular games, you know, online games, you know, whatever the case might be with them. We've got to watch what we say on YouTube now, unfortunately, with certain things, because if you mention things, what happens now is when you, because I'm a YouTube partner and I do get paid via the advertising on my readings, what happens is now they're not even allowing you to monetize unless you checkbox these things. So you got to say, well, what's in your video? And so you've got to, you know, if there's swearing in it, you can't monetize it. If you're using any particular language or saying, you know, certain things, you can't say them. I think it's a way for them to cut down paying money up to people or something like that. But I've got to watch what I say. But if you know tarot, you know what I mean with that Nine of Cups energy, where the back is turned to that. So there needs to be less of a focus on that and more of a focus on your personal relationships. The Ten of Coins is so it's definitely about the family, isn't it? Do you see what I mean? It's definitely about the family. Personal pleasure within the family showing here, which is interesting, because Nine of Cups is contentment within, you know, long-term relationships. The Ten of Coins, contentment within the marriage, that type of thing. Okay, it's interesting. It is a very interesting, because the back is turned to that Nine of Cups energy showing there, and that Ten of Coins showing there. And I could read this in another way, because what immediately springs to mind as well is that Nine of Cups is a part of that Lovers. So whoever this person, it feels like somebody's feeling slightly neglected. Now, her face, let me just look at it. She looks like she's smiling. I'm just going to pick up these two cards and look at them together. Just going to look at them together. So this is personal satisfaction within the family. You needing to focus on your close relationships. Bring personal satisfaction, because the Nine of Cups is contentment within the family, showing here. Or contentment within the material, of course, because the Ten of Pentacles is not just the family. It's less about, that material is all about, because the Pentacles are not just, I mean, even though it's a Ten of Coins, and it's definitely a family card, it's also a card about materialism. So money and, you know, Pentacles are all about the products that we have. So, you know, it's the devices that you're on, for example. And it's an interesting one, because in this time where we're on kind of this lockdown thing at the moment, you know, a lot of people are, I feel, turning to their personal devices. I feel it's a great way for people to come together, but at the same time, it's a great way for people to stay apart, especially in the home, you know, going on your devices or watching this on TV, watching that on TV. And so somebody in the Nine of Cups is deriving personal pleasure from the material. And I feel that with the back turn, it's saying to you, Aries, you need to focus less on, you know, the personal pleasure, Nine of Cups, that you derive from the material of that Ten of Coins, which is your devices and, you know, your computers and your tablets and that type of thing, and focus more on the, you know, the important relationships within your life. Because I think what it's saying really is you need a balance, because the energy around the reading is all about balance, Two of Coins. So it's saying that over the next couple of weeks, there needs to be a focus on balance to a coins. Fine, if you want to spend time kind of playing your, your games online, or, spending time on your tablets, whatever the case might be, that's absolutely fine. But also make sure, because you've got in between you, Aries here, which you are the King of Wands, you're more focused here, because I think a lot of you may have been doing this, spending time maybe kind of deriving pleasure from material stuff. Some of you guys, it's spending long hours working, that type of thing, trying to make sure that you're making as much money as you can, that type of thing. But also really saying, now it's this turn, now it's time to spend time with family, and to, even if you don't live with certain members of the family or whatever, maybe you need to do a bit more FaceTiming, that type of thing, with family. So it needs to be that there's a balance between deriving your own personal pleasures and also spending time with others. The Knight of Cups. So this is all about giving with the Knight of Cups energy, helping, being of service is the Knight of Cups energy showing here, okay? The Magician shows up next. So the Magician is a card about using your abilities and your talents and your skills to create something of value, to create something new. It's all about having the power and having the self-belief to try and create something of volition. Volition, having to create something of beauty with this Magician energy showing up here. So, you've got this Knight of Cups here, and he's giving, but he looks like he's offering something to this. It's an interesting combination. I've not seen these two together before, but I feel that you need to offer with the Knight of Cups your gifts, because the Magician has a gift, okay? Because he's got abilities and he's got talents. And what else do you call a talent? You call talent a gift. So you need to offer your gifts with this Magician and the Knight of Cups energy showing here. Two of Wands, to those on the outside. So those who are at a distance. So offer your gifts to people on the outside. The Two of Wands is distance. So offer your gifts to people who are at distance from you. Because those people who are kind of like not with you, they're not around, they're on their own, or, these are family members you probably haven't seen in quite a while, that type of thing. Offer your gifts to them. And that could be the gift of anything. That could be the gift of advice. That could be the gift of laughter. That could be the gift of, creativity. If you're an artist, if you haven't seen your grandparents in a while or stuff like that, Aries, why don't you go on, FaceTime and say, let me draw a portrait of you. It's little things like that. Or if you're a tarot reader, for example, maybe you could do a tarot reading online for one of the family. It's all about offering your gifts to those who are distant from you with the Two of Wands energy showing here as well. Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords can be a card about illness and worry. Now, there may be people who are distant from you who are not very well with the Four of Swords energy. They may be suffering from anxiety and that type of thing. All right. The Page of Swords. Well, some people are really worried, I think, about the information that's coming out as well about certain things at the moment. Okay, we all know what we're talking about, but obviously there are certain things I really can't say on this video because I have a questionnaire after each video that I put up, and I've got to, if something comes up in it and they ask, I've got to mark whether it's there or not, so I can't say certain things. So that's why certain things are not said. It's funny because you look at other videos on YouTube and they're saying this stuff all the time and they're getting monetized. It's really, really weird. Not unless they're kind of doing, the questionnaire and they're saying they're not saying this and that and the other, which is really interesting. But yeah, there are certain people who are feeling very down and depressed by the information, because you can see the Page of Swords. He's about to take his sword and swipe in here. This is the information that's coming out. Every day we're reading something, every day we're hearing something on the news, and it's very, very worrying. So I think for people who are kind of outside of your home, people who are kind of away from you here, Aries, with the Two of Wands, are at a distance from you. You can see this person's also got their phone as well. Okay, so this is about how you connect with them. Okay, and also the Magician means to give someone a call. It's ruled by Mercury. It's communication. So the Knight of Cups is giving. So why don't you give someone a call, for example, with that Magician and the Knight of Cups? Someone who's far away from you, somebody who's worried about all of the information that's coming out. You could do that as well. So I think that this is all about everything, keeping everything in balance over the next couple of weeks. Aries. So from, the 15th of April through to the 30th of April, it's all about just trying to keep things in balance, because some of you guys may have, and this is somebody with the Nine of Cups who focuses on their own personal pleasure. It's usually concerning the material. So as I said, using your tablet just to play games or watch films or whatever it is, or using whatever technology. I've got tons of technology, because I run a business, so I need that, and I live on my own, so I spend a lot of time on my own. I'm in isolation on my own, basically. But, every day, every evening, I get online with after I've finished my clients, finished my work, I get online with my family. I speak to my twin sister and my nephew, who lives all the way in Birmingham. And we just, we'll have a little drink and we'll have a chat and we'll have a laugh and we'll just, it's just hilarious. We'll stay on for about an hour, everybody just sitting around chatting and talking crap and all this stuff. It's really, really funny. So it's just little things like that, just because I think that this reading, it's about, the focus needs to be on balance for the next 2 weeks. What are you doing too much off and too little off? What are you doing too much off and too little off? Because I feel that it's saying that you need to be focusing more now. These two cards for me, the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Coins, kind of, for me, Aries, stand alone in what message they're trying to convey. Because some of you guys have been doing too much of this. You're kind of focusing more on your own personal pleasures, using things that are, using things that are, the material stuff. So as I've said, your phones, your computers, your tablets, but you're doing a lot of this stuff probably on your own. You're deriving personal satisfaction from things like this on your own. You're not probably spending enough time or connecting enough with loved ones. And I think that this is why you, as the King of Wands, need to take charge of this. You need to be turning your back on these two energies here and focusing more on the people that you're very strongly connected to. It can be a partner, it can be, some of you guys may not be spending enough time in the home with a partner or your husband or, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever it is, or people who you're very strongly connected to emotionally, in that Lovers and the Hierophant energy showing there, family members, that type of thing, who you've grown up with or, who you've always had a very strong bond with. And I think that because you're facing this way, Aries, there is a need to balance this energy out with this. Now you need to turn your attention over the next couple of weeks to people who are very close to you. And you need to, in one instance, offer Knight of Cups your gifts of the Magician energy here to those who are on their own at a distance, who might be feeling isolated here and might be feeling very worried about the information that's coming out. Okay, so you need to kind of, as I've said, if you're a tarot reader, do a few, that's what I do online. When I go online with my family of an evening, I'll do them tarot readings and stuff like that. And we'll look at the cards and we'll have a laugh with the cards and things like that. Or, if you're an artist, maybe you want to get online with, a parent or whoever it is that's close to you haven't seen in a while, draw a picture, so I'll do you a portrait, that type of thing. Make someone smile, as it were. But also, you need to give a call. Knight of Cups is to give, and the Magician is Mercury. It's a telephone. It's communication. So give a call to somebody. And look, can you see how this person here has their phone in their hand? They're waiting. Somebody may be waiting with the Magician. You're looking directly towards the Magician. Somebody may be waiting for you to take action here, Aries. Okay, so somebody may be waiting with the Two of Wands for you to take action. They've got the phone, so they're probably waiting for you to give them a call. So why don't you give them a call? Because they may be worrying. They're on their own, worrying about, all of this. And remember, with the sword is knowledge, information, and it's about to inflict on that force. So this person is really worried about the knowledge, the information from the media that's being inflicted on them. And somebody's just waiting for your call. They're waiting for you to take action. So it's a really good, it's a really good time just to connect with people. Focus less on the self and focus more on people around you, because you probably don't know how much they just need to feel, loved and to feel bolstered and to feel supported in this time. Let's have a quick look at what the long-term outcome or the finishing card is saying, the advice card. There you go, the Three of Wands. Reach out. The universe is telling you the advice is reach out. Three of Wands. Reach out. These are people who are either, I think for the majority of you, looking at the fact that we've got a Two of Wands and a Three of Wands, these are people who are not within your vicinity because they're away from you. All right. The advice is there are some people here who are longing to hear from you, and their advice is also to reach out, because the Three of Wands can be a card of longing or a card that indicates you need to reach out. People are waiting for you to take action, Aries. So, you know, it's time for focus less on your own pleasures, materialistic pleasures, and focus more on kind of connecting with the people who you haven't seen in a while. Or if it's in the home and you're not sharing enough time with the partner or the children or whatever it is, find time to connect with them as well, because they may be feeling, even though you're in the same vicinity, they may still be feeling that there's a bit of distance there. Let's have a look at it really is a time for connecting, okay, going forward over the next couple of weeks. All right, so let's have a look. What is the advice that you have for Aries for the next 2 weeks? Psychic Tarot of the Heart, or for the heart, sorry. In 2 cards, what is the advice that you have for Aries, please? Right, it says love abounds. That's the Ace of Cups. You need to shine. So we've got the Sun. I think this represents the Sun. It's the ones with the black borders are the major arcanas, and the ones with the green are the cup cards, okay? So the Sun, Ace of Cups and the Sun showing up here, all right? I feel that you need to, because the Ace of Cups is also a card about healing and offering love, giving love, okay? And I think that you just need to let your love shine through more than anything, all right? Because the Ace of Cups is all about showing your feelings, opening up your heart. And the Sun card is all about expression and clarity and, you know, showing who you are, you know, opening up to who you are to others. So I just feel that you need to open up your heart, open up who you are, show your feelings, show how much you love people here. How much do you love your family? I think you need to, you know, show it. Some of you guys aren't connecting enough, I think. And I think the tarot is just trying to say that over the next couple of weeks, it's a really good time to really connect with those people, whether they're in your vicinity or not, that you haven't been connecting to. And love abounds. Love does abound. Love is everlasting, and you really need to be opening up and showing that. You really need to be showing your feelings to those who you're not showing your feelings to, because people are probably wondering. I'm wondering if Aries, I'm not saying that for all of you, but some people may be wondering, I wonder if Aries actually cares. And so you need to show, I think, with these cards that you really do, you know, and it's not that you don't care. It's just that sometimes we become consumed with our own happiness and we forget what other people need sometimes. So it's time to really show your love and just kind of give people a nod that you're still around and you're here for them if they need you. All right, that is your reading for the next couple of weeks. I'd like to say thanks ever so much for joining me on Carol's Universe. If you would like your own private reading, click on the link below or in the end screen. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.